It's called the old school advantage. A Louisville man wants to spread his knowledge to the younger generation. Learn more during tonight's Fox Forward.
It's a lament I'm sure we've heard forever. So what is with this younger generation?
Well, a Louisville man is helping teach millennials some very valuable life lessons in character, respect, and much more. Dan Godwin takes a look in tonight's Fox Forward.
There will be a lot of grown-ups out there who shake their head in approval at this concept. You pass along to the generation just entering the workforce some timeless wisdom about the mindset that's required to make a positive difference at your job and in the wider world. We're talking about a program called the Old School Advantage, and it's great to say hello to the man who created it, Jim Whidden of Louisville. Thanks very much for coming in.
It's my pleasure. Good to be with you.
So give us a general idea. How does this program work? What exactly are you teaching?
Well, you know, I've got 4 millennials myself, Dan, and so I wrote this book trying to get the wisdom from centuries and even millennia past into this generation. So we're talking about social skills like ready recall, memorization. We're talking about words that wow. We're talking about understanding influence phrases and influence techniques and storytelling. All of these things are important for this generation to understand.
And so the Old School Advantage started out as a book and now a 4.5-hour workshop that you've given mostly around North Texas, schools, businesses, private settings as well, but also around Texas and even overseas sometimes.
Yeah.
And okay, let's talk about some of those terms you mentioned.
Okay.
Words that wow.
Well, you know, there's some words in this generation's vocabulary that needs to be scrubbed. Words like, awesome, so. And so the first step is to get those out of the vocabulary so much, and then to replace those with words like, instead of awesome, say exceptional, or extraordinary, or a phrase such as first things first, which says I'm organized, I'm a sequential thinker, I'm not going to get ahead of myself. So just implanting these words and phrases that wow their vocabulary, that kind of thing.
Ready recall. So you're saying that I can learn how to develop very quick information retrieval? Is that what this is about for my own brain?
Yeah, it actually goes back to the ancient Greeks. They developed something called the memory palace. And so you literally walk into a room that you've preset with the things that you need to remember. It's quite fascinating. It's a lot of fun.
And real quick, storytelling. Now, are you saying we need to be better storytellers?
Absolutely. Stories are sticky, they're easy to remember, and all the greats tell stories. You think about Winston Churchill, who said words are the only thing that lasts forever. And of course he was a phenomenal storyteller. But Socrates, Abraham Lincoln, all of these folks told stories so that they could communicate more efficiently.
And we certainly don't want to sound at all like we're picking on millennials. I mean, one concept that you bring up is that the opportunities to embrace or absorb this kind of timeless wisdom, it's not as available to this generation as in times past.
I think so. I think technology has distracted us from that, but I believe this generation could actually be the greatest generation. But what's going to have to happen is that those of us in the baby boomer generation and Gen X are going to have to mentor them so that we can help them get to that position.
All right, thanks very much, Jim. It's the Old School Advantage, a book and a 4.5-hour workshop. For more information, we've got a link at our website. Just go to fox4news.com.